And good evening, everybody. Hi, welcome to Runts Bar-B-Q here on Ruffer TV and 101.7 FM Okie Country. It's another season of high school football, Ruffer football. And we bring in the head coach who in his 28th year, is that what you said?
28th, yes.
28th year of coaching. And I don't think in the previous 27 you've had any type of experience like what you've had to go to this year so far.
No, there's a lot of guys out there that this is their first or second year coaching, and there's some guys out there like Coach Snyder and some of them, Coach that's been doing it 48 years, and nobody's seen what we're going through this year. You're getting your checklist ready for the first away game, and you want your headsets, and you got your kicking tees and your balls and your cameras and all that, and now we've got our cleaning utensils, we've got our backpack with our spray in there, we've got our hand sanitizer, we've got all that stuff that you got to have now with COVID, so it's a different world. Make sure we got the face mask, and we're not talking about our helmet face mask, We're talking about those face masks, so it's just a different world. We got our seating charts on buses with the windows down and the air conditioners going so that you can trace if somebody does get it, and worrying about 6 feet and 15 minutes, and it's a different world.
You have to have a stopwatch almost to have practice.
Well, we've changed our practices up. Used to, a lot of our stuff went on 15-minute intervals, and now we've switched everything to 10 minutes so that there's no worrying about that as far as if we're going to be, I don't know who came up with the idea that if it's 14 minutes and 20 seconds or if it's 15 and 10, you're affected or somehow. But anyway, that magic number being 15 minutes. So we just made sure that it was off the charts, and it's 10 minutes that we do each station.
Well, certainly right here in 2020, it is a different season. But when it all boils down to it starting Friday night, whether it's 0 week or week 1, it's still high school football, and it's X's and O's and time for the kids to go do what you and the coaching staff have been programming them to do.
It is, and 0 week is usually one that I like just due to the fact that we don't put a lot into our second scrimmage anyway, because that's just a time that we let our starters usually go one series and then play our younger kids. But of all years that we are all talking about as coaches, there was a lot of ugly scrimmages last week, and if you're playing 0 week this year, you got to quick turnaround to try to get things better with not having spring ball, with not having your summer football camps and stuff, and for us especially, replacing all of our offensive and defensive line, there's nothing that needs to be more cohesive than those two places. So the other night up at Jinx, it was a good opportunity for us to get a first look at them, and some of the things we really liked, and there's obviously some things we got to get better at, but of all years not to have those things, this is a tough year for it.
Well, certainly is. Ruffers have a whole new look to their offense as well as for their defense, but a lot of familiar names that'll be in some different places. We come back, we're going to bring in one of the assistant coaches, John Graham, who's back as the offensive coordinator. And a little bit later on tonight here from Runts Bar-B-Q, we'll bring in one of those guys that'll see some two-way duty, Caleb Webb, whether he's crunching people on defense at linebacker or whether he's carrying the ball out of the backfield. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but first, let's take our opening timeout here on Ruffer TV from our sponsors, the Ruffer Coaches Show. We're back after this 2-minute timeout here on Ruffer TV and KTFX 101.7 Okie Country.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times, when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
New Silverados up to $15,000 in total savings. Hi, Jay Hodge, and it really is the best time to buy at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee. Tell them, Rick.
Summer sale down of all new 2020s.
New Silverados up to $15,000 total savings.
Don't overpay, come see 15KJ.
New Silverados up to $15,000 total savings at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
144 West Shawnee.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
And welcome back to the Muskogee Rougher Coaches Show. I'm Bill Huddleston, your host, along with the head coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. And Rafe, we were talking about changes, but I don't think we have to change your preference of what you order, because you were very quick to tell the waitress when she came over to ask you for your pregame order that you had a standing order here at Runts Bar-B-Q. When I told you our show would be here, you said, love me some Runts Bar-B-Q.
It's hard to beat Runts. You know, you get in here, and I usually get the 2 or 3 meat combo, but it's still the same stuff. Whether it is the 2 or 3, I just get double the burn ends and catfish, or just a little bit of burn ends and catfish. So it's all good, though.
It is all good, and it's all good when you bring our partner along with us, John Graham. And John, I guess you have a favorite choice off the menu as well?
Yeah, I'm a catfish guy as well. I'm not as much on the burn ends, but yeah, I'm definitely going to get the catfish.
Catfish. Now, has Coach Watkins taught you his secrets to casting and fishing and being successful with catching them out of the water?
Oh, definitely. We go down there and fish his ponds, and he's like, throw over there about 6 feet left of that little stump right there, and I guarantee you they're down that hole, and somehow there they are every single time.
We've got them named. They're my pets down there. I say there's Charlie in there, and there's Leo over there. Catch him. He'll bite.
Yeah, we caught him last week, so leave me alone for this week. Well, speaking of this week and speaking of this season, we were talking with Coach a moment ago, and you heard his comments about the change in preparation. How has this lack of a preseason, whether it was spring ball, summer camps, or even here into the fall, how has that changed the preparation of your responsibilities as offensive coordinator with your players?
Well, I won't lie. It's been difficult with the fact of last year, we had all that spring time to come in and get a lot of that preliminary stuff worked out before we got into the summer. We got that good spring practice, and then we went all the way into the summer, and we were able to rep it, and build on what we got in the spring. Whereas we got into the summer this year, and even with a lot of the restrictions in that, we were still kind of taking those baby steps. We weren't quite as far along when we got to the fall camp time. And so we've really just had to, as coaches, kind of pare back. And it's good to do anyway, figure out what you do well and do it a lot of different ways, and not so much of a quantity of what you do, but being really good quality.
One of the big questions in preparing for this fall season was what you would do to replace an offensive line. But I think his coach called them his – what do you call them, mush mouth or mush monsters?
Mush hogs.
Mush hogs up front. Showed pretty well last Friday night in the scrimmage at Jinx.
They did well, and we've got 2 good coaches, Coach Julian and Coach McMillan, that really get after them. And, it is 5 new guys. So there's some things that they need to work through, and one of them, is brand new, hadn't played football in a couple of years, but he's really showing a lot of promise as well. But they really came off last week. Again, we've got things to work on, but if we'll come out and be physical up front, that's all we really need.
You guys obviously have had the same school of thought when it comes to playing football. To be successful, you have to run the football. Rafe, I know you bleed that. John Graham, obviously you believe in that process, and that'll be kind of the calling card for the Roughers here in 2020.
Absolutely, and being from around this area and growing up around here, Muskogee's always got running backs. One's here with us tonight that can run the ball. We last year we had Jimmy, we got Isaiah coming back. We got Brandon Tolbert. We're always going to have guys that can run the football, and if you believe in it, as Coach does and as we do as an offensive staff, then the kids are going to start to believe in it. And when you run the football that way, it opens up everything else. It makes it awful tough if they can make you one-dimensional just to throw the ball.
But when you can make them have to auto the run on every single snap, it also opens up that passing game.
Yeah, that play-action pass, and that's what we live on. We're gonna run the ball, and we're going to try to present it in a bunch of different ways and make them have to creep in, and then we'll take our shots when we have our opportunities.
It's nice to have guys like Ty Williams in the backfield or or others in your receiving core that's out there, and to know you've also got receivers that have got sure hands good enough to catch the ball in space, and then they've got the ability to turn it upfield in a hurry, take a short out, and turn it into a first down.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of guys. We replaced in that part of the team as well. Receiver, we had a lot of guys leave with Jordan and Cantrell and Connor, but we've had some guys step up this year, young guys and older guys. We've got some talent out there on the perimeter, and we can sling it out there. And like you said, we've got athletes that can take a short pass and turn it into a big play.
Rafe, talk a little bit about this year's offensive scheme. I know you guys spend endless hours together, but talk a little bit about where you feel this offense is. I know it's early. I know it's 0 week, and you've had really one opportunity to get somebody other than yourselves to prepare, but I think you felt a lot better after last Friday night's ball game, especially with the play in the trench.
Oh, I did. I thought we ran the ball real well, especially there in the early parts in the round robin part when I was playing Booker T and Jinx. We had some really nice runs in there, averaged in that area about 8 yards a carry. And so if we can do that, we're going to be really good this year. But, as far as comparing last year and this year, it's still we're wanting to run the ball, but we're going to do it in two total different ways. Last year we had a little bit smaller linemen, but they could get out on the perimeter and run. So we did a lot of, sweeps and stuff where we're getting Day and Lucky out there on the perimeter running. This year we're huge. We've got the 350 plus, we'll just say that, in there that are just
we have
gigantic.
2 sets of scales, one for the left foot, one for the right foot.
We haven't taken them to the co-op yet, so we don't have an actual weight yet, but it's pretty big. But they're not going to pull out there and run an open field and get after stuff, but
Sure.
they can double team down, mush you to the next level, and that's a great thing too. So we're looking at some more inside zone instead of looking at stuff more outside. And then the thing is, we've got some, as Coach was touching on it, we got some different guys on the perimeter that can fly. Raheem Payne. I think you're going to see him do some great things Friday night. We've got some special plays for him because he's one of the fastest kids in the state, and if we can get him in open space. Now, he doesn't know a whole lot about football yet. He's a basketball kid and a track kid that's coming out his senior year, but he can fly, and so if we can get him in some open space, it'll be really good for us on the opening stuff up. And Coach was talking earlier about our short passing game and stuff, and a lot of our passing is just an extension. It's an extended run game. I mean, some of our bubbles and screens and swing passes, all it is an extended sweep is all it amounts to, so it's still even in the running game to a certain extent. But I think that this team has a chance to do offensively even better than last year, to be quite honest, if we can just gel. The biggest thing is the only thing we've got since last year is that little 24-minute scrimmage that we had over there at Jinx. But again, that was a great team to go up against, and they're outstanding, and I think we held our own in times in running. Now, we didn't do a very good job in the passing game, but did really well in the running game.
Well, that's all still to be built upon, and it's not what you start with, it's how you finish, and you'll want to start strong and start fast and finish strong this Friday night against Bishop McGinnis. It is nice, though, to know that in that stable of running backs, not only do we have Caleb Webb, but when you talk about Talbert and Gibbons, you've got two guys that are kind of like steamrollers. I mean, they love contact, and you get in your way, you better be prepared for a crash.
Well, that goes back to just what we're talking about with, Jimmy, he liked the open space out there. He was a little bit faster and was smaller, and he liked getting outside, so it worked in for him from getting out in space. These two guys, my goodness, and then you throw in Webb also. Well, they like to get downhill and run hard, and they're bigger guys and get in behind those giants. Like I said, we can wear on people as long as we don't turn the ball over or do some silly penalties to get into long situations. There's no reason, honestly, even if people pack the box, that we can't get 5 yards of carry. And if we do that, 3 plays. I'm not a very smart guy, but 3 plays and you got another first down. The clock's still running. So I like the thing, and their offense isn't out on the field. So good things are going to happen when we can do that.
Well, in the old days, guys, we would say 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Today we're going to say 4 yards and a cloud of rubber pellets because you're playing on the
we
turf.
Actually get dust this time. We're back on grass again. So McGinnis has grass like Shawnee. So hopefully it'll be better than the last time we were on grass.
Well, let's certainly hope so. Game faces are on, obviously. Butterflies yet, John?
No, not yet. But I'll be honest with you. Every game I've got them. And I think sometimes, even with the games, I feel really confident going into it. Doesn't matter. I get those butterflies, but I think that's more anxious than nervous.
Well, a minute ago I said butterflies, and the eyes popped open wide. for our next guest, Caleb Webb. He's going to see a lot of action on Friday night. His eyes get wide when he's about to make contact as a linebacker or when he's running with the football. Caleb will step in here with me and Coach Watkins after a break. We're live here from Runts Bar-B-Q, where it is barbecue at its best. Tuesday through Saturday. Come in and just pick from the menu. You will not be disappointed. Back after this 2-minute timeout. This is Rougher TV and 101.7 FM KTFX Okie Country.
Developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer, that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee, online at hodgeford.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
To be a successful football team, you must excel on offense, running and tackling. You must excel on defense. You must excel in the kicking game. At Excel Therapy, they excel at sports medicine. They excel at physical therapy. And they excel at helping you to excel. With 12 clinics in Oklahoma, including Muskogee and Tahlequah, Excel Therapy is ready for football for the athletes and the fans. Excel Therapy excels in orthopedic injury recovery and sports medicine. Look for them online at exceltherapyok.com.
Welcome back to Runts Bar-B-Q, and we're still waiting on the delivery of Coach's catfish and burn-ins, and I don't know what, Caleb, have you looked at the menu? Have you decided what you're going to chow down in here?
Not yet.
Not yet. But I know you're ready to chow down on a little Irish stew on Friday night when we go to play the Fighting Irish of Bishop McGinnis. Is that right?
Yes, sir, always.
Now, why did your eyes get so wide open when I said butterflies?
I always have butterflies before a game, but like usually when I get in the game, they go away. But it's just a normal thing for me.
Coach, I think it is for all of us too. I know I'll be wound up tighter than a fiddle string on Friday night, and even after 28 years, I'm sure it's the same for you.
It is, and the day that it's not butterflies, that's when you need to give it up because you don't take it very serious. But yeah, if you've got a heartbeat and you love it and passionate like we are, after 28 years, it's still that. And I promise you I'll have huge butterflies before we kick off down there on Friday night.
And if you don't, I'm sure your wife, Karen, can bring you some.
Well, there'll be plenty in the stands, I'm sure.
Exactly. Now, talk a little bit about this guy's across the table for me, because not only is he an outstanding proven linebacker, he was one of our preseason top 100 picks, but he's also a guy that's going to figure big time into the offensive game plan this year.
He is, and he was last year. You know, Caleb's outstanding in as far as lead blocking a lot for us. He's in that slot or fullback position. He does a good job of running the ball. You know, I think of the run down at Shawnee where he ran over about 3 people and just was, you know, it got us the lead again there before they wanted that very last seconds. But he had put us in situation to win the game. Has just got a knack. I've never seen anybody with a knack for blocking extra points and field goals like he has. I think he had 8 altogether last year. And then has that uncanny ability of, like a lot of your good defensive players, of just being, you know, Coach Sexton, who used to be here, says he's the luckiest guy in the world because it just seems like anytime a ball bounced, it bounced right to him on a fumble or something. But that's, you know, there is a certain amount of luck on that. But also, if you're putting yourself in the right position all the time, good things are going to happen to you, and that's what it was. He's putting himself in the right position, and so when things go bad for the other team, he's naturally going to be there to make it good for him.
He typically creates some of those bad situations.
Most certainly. He does a great job of ripping the ball.
Let's get a chance to meet the guy that will have big opportunities for the Ruffers again here in his senior season, Caleb Webb. CW, I mean, this is a little bit different for you too, like the coaches. You guys didn't have spring ball. You didn't have the summer camps to get ready. What have you done individually on your own to prepare for this final season?
What I did, my dad, like, he has a friend. Well, he was a coach for my little brother. And, like, me and my brother and his son, we'll go out to his garage. And, like, we'll do, like, he has a little hill going up to his house. So we run hills, we'll work out, lift and all that. Every day we had a new lift every day. It was hard because my dad, he pushed me a lot. But
so do you feel like now this season you're bigger, faster, and stronger?
Yes, I really do feel like I'm getting bigger and faster and stronger.
You got a preference which side of the football you'd like to be on? If Coach said you can only go one way, Caleb, you pick what you want to do. What are you going to choose?
That's a hard one because I like both, but I think I'm going to go with defense because I like hitting people.
Now, Coach, he's had a lot of recruiting attention. He's had an offer from New Mexico, if I'm right.
Yes, sir.
Along with some other people that have expressed a lot of interest. What is it that is drawing all this attention for Caleb?
Well, again, the last 2 years he's led the team in tackles. Last year had 144 tackles. The year before that, I think around 139, something like that. So it's been pretty consistent. Again, he's just that perfect build for that hybrid that they all want to use in the 4.25s now, and he comes off the edge. And again, he's always around the ball, and people like that. I mean, a lot of them will look at him and say he's a little undersized. I think that's what kept some of the biggest boys around. OU, OSU, all of them's looked at him and love him. But they've got their cookie cutter mold that they got to follow. But and you didn't put in. And he's got 3 Division I offers right now with UTSA down at the University of Texas San Antonio, which is a great offer. They play there in the Alamo Bowl or Alamo Dome. Is that what they call it?
Right.
And then you got New Mexico was the most recent one, and then also Weber State out of Utah. So he's got some great offers. That's the good thing right now. His school's paid for the next 4 years or 5, whatever it is, probably red shirt. And so the next 5 years, he's going to get a free education no matter what else happens the rest of this year. But I think he's going to have a great year. I think you're going to see some more things come along for him. But again, if nothing else does, he's already got his school paid for the next 5 years. So that's just a testament to him. And he's taking care of the classroom, so he's going to be a qualifier. And that's the main thing as well.
Now, Caleb, you heard Coach talk about the big schools, the Power Fives. They've got their cookie-cutter mold. They want 6'2", 6'4", defensive players that fill in your positions. What are you doing to impress these college coaches that it doesn't matter how tall you are, it's the heart that's inside?
I just want to show them that I have just as much heart as any other taller guy, bigger guy, and strong, fast guy. It doesn't really matter. To me, it doesn't really matter about height, weight, or anything. It's a matter of heart and what you're going to do to get what you want.
Now, we also know that you don't just play football. You like to play the game of baseball, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Play center field is what you were telling me?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm assuming that you use that center, your quickness and your speed to cut down the alleys. Talk to me about your baseball experiences.
Center field is for me, it's fun, but it's a lot of work because you're basically controlling the whole outfield. I mean, I only have to take all control because I have Antonio Zapata out there helping me, and whoever else is in right field helping me out. But usually, it's a pretty fun sport for me, and I love working at that like I do in football. But at the same time, I don't know. If I had to choose against football and baseball, it'd have to be football.
Absolutely. Now let's talk a little bit about what you want for this season. What your expectations are, because this, as we mentioned, is the last go-round for CW. And we've called your name time and time again. You've been in the right spot at the right place at the right time. What are you expecting here in 2020? And it all starts Friday night.
Every year, everybody's got the same goal and stuff, mindset, and it's always going to the state championship and getting in the ring. But my goal is just for everybody to, no matter what, to always play their heart out like it's their last game, come out full, playing for the person beside them, everybody on the team. And I just want to have a good season, have everybody work hard, keep going, work hard, and keep wherever they go next, just go work hard too.
I think that has to go with the team motto, MTXE, mental toughness, extra effort. This guy gives it every single day.
He does. He's been a great leader for us this summer. I think he missed just 2 summer pride sessions and was one of our great senior leaders this year, and couldn't ask enough of him, and he does it for us night in, night out on the field and every day at practice. And He's even gotten better about being on time. When he's a sophomore and junior, he had 5 coaches that lived around him somewhere, and he'd come up late. This year he didn't have. I was the closest coach, and I'm about 1.5 miles away from him, and I think he made it on time most of the time. So he's improved in that he's grown up a lot, and he's a wonderful young man, and look forward to great things from him.
Well, Caleb, you got to do me a favor, because I've had a couple of texts that you've got some favorites watching our show tonight on Rougher TV. Turn around, little wave to your fans, and we'll see those waves on Friday night too, Coach, because there'll be plenty of waves of Caleb Webb and the Roughers when we go against the Irish.
Well, we need to have him coming in waves at the Irish, so that'd be the best thing for us. See him get about 15 tackles and have some good stuff happen for us on offense.
Maybe a scoop and score.
Maybe.
That would be
or
wonderful.
pick six.
Yeah, or pick six.
That would be great.
Either way. When we come back, we're going to talk about Friday night's season opener 0-week matchup on the road against Bishop McGinnis. That after this final 2-minute timeout here on Rougher TV as we're live from Runts Bar-B-Q in Muskogee on Okie Country 101.7 KTFX and on Rougher TV.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. nissanofmuskogee.com. That's right, nissanofmuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at nissanofmuskogee.com.
JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee brings mobile digital imaging to you anytime, anywhere. JTK Imaging Services offers parents-to-be excitement and comfort of 3D and 4D ultrasound with ultrasound as low as $100. Services at JTK Imaging Services also include mobile digital ultrasound and x-ray anytime you need them. Discover the difference online at jtkimagingservices.com. JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee at 1631 North Main.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
Thanks, Muskogee, and good luck, Roughers, on your drive to win in 2020.
Your new home isn't so far away with the help of Muskogee Mortgage, 3241 Chandler Road, Muskogee, and online at MuskogeeMortgage.com.
I'm Gil McLaughlin.
I'm Brian Kirkhart.
Thanks, Muskogee. Your hometown mortgage team, Muskogee Mortgage, the McLaughlin team, is proud to be Muskogee's preferred mortgage company.
We are extremely honored to serve you. Just like the Roughers have a game plan for victory, our daily game plan is to assist families to reach their financial goals.
Thanks, Muskogee, and good luck, Roughers, on your drive to win in 2020.
Your new home isn't so far away with the help of Muskogee Mortgage, 3241 Chandler Road, Muskogee, and online at MuskogeeMortgage.com. Hi again, everybody. Bill Huddleston back with the coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. Coach, we're down to time to go play. Get on the bus. Everybody has their proper seating spot, and it's time to go against the Irish of Bishop McGinnis. And, again, another solid team coached by Brian Pierce.
Oh, outstanding football team. For about the last 20 years, McGinnis has had great tradition. They've had great tradition at all their sports, but about 20 years ago they started really getting good at football with Kenny Young. Of course, the whole time I was at Guthrie, we played against them every year. They had tough kids. There's a mindset, just like we have the people with the mindsets of what Muskogee is. You get the mindsets out there because these are private school kids. If they're not tough, they will be one of the most physical teams we face all year long. They always have been and always will be. They're very disciplined and they play hard, well coached. People think that this is a step down for us playing a 5A team and it's just going to be easy, roll in there and win. And that's not the case. McGinnis could be up here in our league and would be in the playoffs every year. They've been the state runner-up to outstanding Carl Albert teams the last 2 years. Was in the semifinals before that. They just do everything right. So we're going to have to play the very best of our abilities. You know, there's obviously a lot of people know that we've got a couple of injuries. We're not advertising and everything out there, but we've got a couple of injuries. It's going to be, significant that we're going to have some kids step up and play above their heads that's coming in for them. But that's what we talk about all the time, is that you never know when it's going to be your turn, and it's your turn to step up. And, we're studying this book about above the line that Ohio State had there a few years ago, and they lost their starting quarterback in spring ball, and then their second-team quarterback was the Big Ten newcomer of the year that year, and then he gets hurt in the Wisconsin game and didn't get to play in the Big Ten championship. Third-team quarterback comes in, wins that, and then wins the playoffs and the national championship for him. So we always say the next guy up, but that's what we're trying to say. You never know when it's going to be your turn, and so pay attention and always be ready to work hard.
What do you expect, briefly in our closing comments here, what do you expect from the Irish? I mean, it's a ball club that has a proven performer at quarterback. Luke Tarman's a 3-year starter at quarterback. I mean, last year rushed for 1,200 yards, but he can put it in the air with some zip.
He's what makes them go, obviously. Now, last year their tailback that went to TCU and then ended up going to OSU was outstanding athlete. They had the linebacker that went to OU and a kicker that went to OU, so they had 3 Division I kids last year. But this kid last year didn't get the recognition because, again, the tailback did so much last year. But as you said, he had over 1,200 yards rushing. This year they're throwing a little bit more in our game that we've got him against UConn. Is the only, this year's scrimmage that we have. They threw it about 70% of the time. They're a lot like us. They're replacing a lot of kids. In fact, on defense, they're replacing 9 of their 11 starters. They only got 2 back. They did get a good move in from Millwood this year. He was Millwood's starting quarterback last year as a freshman over there for them. He'll be a sophomore. He doesn't look like a normal sophomore. He's a big, thick kid. They've been using him at wide out. But I think we'll see him some at tailback. He's just too good an athlete not to put it in his hands more than 3 or 4 times a game. I'm sure they'll still split him out, but I think we'll see him come in there and they'll put him at tailback, and we'll probably see him 10 or 12 times carrying the ball there.
But most importantly, it's take care of your own business.
That's the key. Our defensive line, this is really a match for them. They're not a huge offensive line by no means. Now, their left tackle is a big kid. He's 6'6", 315, sophomore, but the rest of them are relatively normal size. It's not like what they had to go up against Jinx last week in the scrimmage. So I'm sure that we knew that was going to be our Achilles heels if we got somebody that was just giant and then come downhill at us, because our defensive line, while they're fast and that's our strength, we probably don't average with the 4 205 pounds each. So, I mean, we're not real big up front, but we can move. And so luckily there's not many people in our district or that we're going to play this year that can be like Jinx and getting double tight and have a big tight end coming down on you and a big old running back. So that's one benefit for us. But it was good for us to get that experience from them and be ready for this game. But we'll have to play to our very best ability to come out of there with a win.
Well, it's certainly time for football. We've been holding our breath, crossing our fingers, and just wishing for the day that we would be able to play, and that comes up Friday night. It's 0 week, but it's week number 1 for the Ruffers on the road at Bishop McGinnis, and we'll have it for you live stream on Ruffer TV as well as on 1017 Okie Country KTFX. Rafe, always good to be here at Runts Bar-B-Q. Can't wait to get into our food here after our show was done, and we've got to say a special thank you to Russell Pratt and the team here because they treat you like kings.
Russell does. They feed our kids on pregame, and people think, well, barbecue before pregame, but it's how he does. I mean, it's not like we're just lapping up a bunch of greasy ribs and stuff. He takes care of us, with the chicken, with the turkey, or with, ham. He does it all, and so Russell always takes care of us, has for the 7 years I've been here, and we appreciate him a great deal.
We appreciate you joining us here from Runts Bar-B-Q. We'll see you right back here next Tuesday night at 6:30 on Ruffer TV and on KTFX 1017 Okie Country. For head coach Rafe Watkins, I'm Bill Huddleston. Thank you for joining us, and remember, it's always a great day to be a Ruffer.